Suprema, and we're going to do a demonstration this afternoon using our SureStick SA, our self-adhered product. Just to recap a little bit, earlier today we put down our SofaSmart board, our 3-in-1 board, which is insulation, high-density ISO cover board, and an SBS base sheet. We put it down in Duotech 365. Later on in the day, we adhered our Sentinel PVC in a spatter pattern of Duotech SPF. We also used the same Duotech SPF material to apply ribbons and adhere insulation with. Now what we're going to do is install our SureStick material, and I'll let Matt give you a little history.
Thank you, Kurt. My name is Matt Davis. I'm the SBS product manager for Suprema. So what we have here is just basically a simulated nailable deck. In this case, it's just wood sheeting. We have already put down our Suprema SureStick nail base. So what this is just a sanded underside film surface sheet that you use over nailable surfaces. You can see 2 rows of fasteners within the sheet, 18 inches apart, and then there's 1 row in the laps that is 9 inches apart. So that's if, like I said, you go into a nailable deck and you don't use a cover board or anything like that. You use that as kind of a separation layer between the wood deck and the roofing system. So what we're going to put on now is actually the base ply in this system. In this case, it's a polyester reinforced sheet. We do have it in glass and also in polyester. The one thing that you'll notice is the film surfacing on this. This is something new for Suprema. The beautiful part about it is with that film surface, there's no inner ply priming. So not only does it save you the material, but it also saves you the time that it takes to prime and then put the next layer on. With this film, we don't have to do that.
So Ryan and Mike are laying out the ply material, and Alan's stripping off the release paper from the backside. The release paper is a split release, so you'll see on the next ply they'll pull it from both directions, and then Brad's rolling it in with a 75-pound roller.
Yeah, and as with normal roofing practices, of course, that we started with a half sheet in front here so that we stagger our laps, so that the laps aren't over top of each other. So half sheet first, now we're going with a full sheet, and you can see the split back release film. This was something on the contractor side that was easier for them to work with, and was kind of a no-brainer. It allows us to actually get half that sheet stuck, which is easier to work with, and then come back through and do the other half. One thing to notice about the film is that we do have a printed side lap, so it actually does have a line for that 3-inch overlap, and then also has a line in the middle. So when you go through with your cap sheet and put that cap sheet on, now you have a reference line of where that cap sheet overlap should be.
So there is no priming between the plies as long as you're going to the permanent film. Now one of the conditions of that is we have to put the cap sheet on at the end of the same day. We can't leave this film exposed to the sunlight.
And as with any sort of self-adhered system, we do always require that it's a 75-pound weighted roller that you go over top with, because you really want to make sure that adhesive is getting fully bonded to that film. So rolling with the weighted roller does help that. So again, the nail base that we put down was a glass reinforced sheet. In this case, the ply sheet that we're using is a polyester reinforced, but it also is available as a glass reinforced sheet. The cap sheet that we're going to use is also glass reinforced. The nail base is a 2-square roll, so out of that roll you do get a lot of coverage. And then the 2 base plies that we have are both a 1.5 squares, and then the cap ply is a 1-square roll.
Alan will go ahead and trim that edge off, and then we'll go ahead and install the cap sheet. The laps are sealed using the same self-adhered technology with the as the field is. They'll go ahead and set the cap sheet, and it has again the split release on it also.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice about this cap sheet that might be a little bit different or is new for Suprema, you'll see that we have a lap film that covers over the side lap. That does two things for us. It actually allows us to protect that lap, the side lap, from any dust or debris that might be on the job site, so that when we come back through and put the next sheet over top of that, we pull back that release film, and now we have a nice, clean SBS compound to adhere to, so there's no dust or debris or anything in it.
So do you guys use a lot of self-adhered products? Have you put a lot of self-adhered down? Good, good. So it's good to not have to prime it, obviously, and put the material down. So they'll go ahead and set this and get this portion set in.
Yeah, and again, as you notice, as they come back through with that second cap ply and overlap that, what they'll do is pull the half of that release film from the underside as well as that lap film, so that we're getting a nice clean lap with no debris or dirt or dust or anything in it, and a fresh self-adhesive blend that's going to stick to it. We did a lot of work on the side for our self-adhered compound. A lot of times we hear in the industry these membranes called peel and stick, which I think kind of gives it a not the right thought process, right idea. There's actually a lot that goes into these compounds. We worked for months, especially creating this compound on the backside of this to make sure that we got the best adhesion possible. So when you have that in combination with this film, it really has a lot of good attributes.
We're going to leave that last ply off there so you can see the staggered steps and see the different materials that we put down there. So that really is it. You're watertight. You're in. You're done with the system. So
yeah. So what you see on this deck here again is the nail base, which is a 2-square sanded underside film surface sheet that you go through and put over any sort of nailable surface. Then you have the inner ply, which is either a glass or a polyester reinforced ply, again with that self-adhered underside of the film surface. And then we have the cap ply, which is a 1-square roll, in this case glass reinforced. But going back to kind of what I was talking about before, we hear a lot in the industry about these membranes as peel and stick, which I think is kind of a bad way to think about it. There really is a lot that goes into these. So we did a little bit of a comparison between our self-adhered product and what's out in the market now, and we did a kind of rudimentary, kind of simple little thing here. We took our product and some competitive products and just used a simple 5-pound weight just to see how well ours would hold it versus the competitive product. We won't be showing any of the competitive product today, but what you'll see is that the initial tack of our product, the initial hold is very, very good. When you put this product down, it really does stick. You get really good initial adhesion as well as long-term adhesion. So that was one thing we really wanted to address with this product, and we found that we actually outperform anything that's on the market now.
So are there any questions that we can answer from the crowd? Anybody? Yes, sir. Humidity and temperature.
Yeah, so the question was, as far as temperature ranges or humidity concerns with this product, it is still a self-adhered membrane, so we still want to stay around that 50 degrees and rising mark, just to make sure that it's not getting too cold, and we do get that adhesion.
Anything else? So we'd like to thank you very much for coming, and if you have any questions, there's a lot of us folks around here that will be happy to help you.